Hey guys, I'm Sam Sundara. I'm a naturopath and holistic wellness coach. And today we're diving into a topic that's been on many people's minds. So, do I really need to take supplements to be well? Are they really good for me? How do I get everything that I need when our soils are so often depleted? All the questions you should be asking, right? And the shelves of health stores these days are just packed with various pills, powders, potions, and so many different products. And there's often a lot of contradictory information these days. So it's really, really easy to become overwhelmed. And it's become a really complicated arena, but it doesn't have to be. It shouldn't be. So let's break it down. So, firstly, let's talk about nutrition. So, ideally, we all know, most of us know that we should be getting our nutrients from a balanced diet that's rich in whole foods. So, fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, high quality protein. Whole foods, they provide that complex blend of nutrients and minerals and fiber and antioxidants that all work synergistically to provide the right building blocks and to support our health. Isolates don't do that. They don't have that same balanced therapeutic action in our bodies. So it's true that our modern diets often fall short nutritionally. I've seen some pretty dismal looking produce when it's organic. Um, when you know that it hasn't been plumped up with those synthetic farming processes. So soil depletion, processed foods, busy lifestyles, all these factors can make it really, really challenging to get all the nutrients that we need from food alone. But should we just reach for pills and powders to make up for this? Or should we be looking to address these factors individually to ensure that our diets are as nutritious as they possibly can be? We can often source more nutrient rich, less depleted foods by finding local markets and really good growers. um, Here in Bali, I found this really challenging initially, and that the organic produce that was found in standard supermarkets and markets was really, really limited and quite dismal looking. And it took some time and some digging. But now I have sourced a couple of local growers who deliver me produce, and I know that these fruits and vegetables are grown with everything that they need because of how they look and feel. The colour and the full growth is there. And these farmers, they don't spray and they don't use any other dubious practices. But I know that, there might still be some contamination due to the water supply. Here in Bali, it's all connected. And so I just soak everything in structured distilled water with just a little dash of fruit and veggie soak just to loosen any of those chemicals that might still be there. So having a varied diet where I know that I'm getting at least 20 to 30 different sources a week of plant sources. So your fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, seeds that are prepared in the right way, to really ensure that I'm getting that broad spectrum of bioavailable nutrients. I don't eat processed foods that will actually deplete nutrients from my body. And I make sure that when I eat a meal that I have slowed down and reasonably relaxed, and take that time to chew and digest before rushing off or multitasking. No, it sounds really simple, but you would be amazed at the difference that these lifestyle changes will make for you. So, the second question that we need to be asking is, do these supplements really provide the health benefits that they claim? How are these supplements actually made and what's really in them? Well, have a look at any given popular brand of vitamin supplement and then go and Google the ingredients, and you'll see that they contain petrochemicals, heavy metals, and other toxic substances like formaldehyde, acetone, sulfuric acid, benzenes. Why do people think that taking a mixture of toxic chemicals is somehow good for their health? Well, the reality is that people are actually being manipulated by deceptive marketing. You know, Even going to a compounding pharmacist, although this will be a cleaner formula and it won't have some of those more common additives that are in the generic store-bought formulas, still, a compounding pharmacist's raw ingredients are usually synthetic, or if not, they have still been isolated, they've been processed and treated with chemicals. And many of these chemicals are not disclosed by these companies. They don't have to disclose this by law. So formulas that are based on whole foods are much better, of course, than a synthetic version of the nutrients. For example, whole food powders and capsules like Juice Plus, and there are many others nowadays, but personally, it's always my preference to stick with the whole food where possible. You know, Using fresh juices so that you're getting all of those phytonutrients with a good quality juicer, of course. So you're getting all those nutrients that are actually going to be destroyed in that dehydration and processing. Companies like Juice Plus are often quite deceptive with their figures, and they make out that there's a whole lot more nutrition in a capsule than there actually is. I mean, a capsule's pretty small, right? So you're going to get a lot more in regular juicing or whole food smoothies than taking these kinds of formulas. And you're getting that life force as well in fresh food. So over recent years, I've actually begun to really question the scientific method that was used to isolate and label vitamins in particular. It's actually pretty dodgy when you look right into it. So minerals, yes, complex phytonutrient compounds, yes. Of course, these are all solid and the validity is there. But vitamins, I've begun to question. So, yes, there are specific phytonutrient compounds in a carrot, for example, that have been labeled vitamin A and beta carotene. But when you actually discover how they're identified and labeled, these vitamins, it's really quite dodgy. And not to mention that the vitamin A in supplements these days is not made from carrots. It's made from chemicals like methanol and benzene and petroleum esters and refined oils. Vitamin D is synthesized from irradiated animal fats and cattle brain tissue, actually, and extracted with chemical solvents. Pretty gross. If these companies actually disclose their processes, nobody would be buying these supplements. So instead, we might prefer to look at the whole foods that are rich in these compounds that we need, like a good quality nutritional yeast and so many other superfoods, and supplement our diet with those instead. So personally, I don't take any supplements, and what I mean by that is isolated nutrients in a bottle. So instead, I use whole herbs. I use superfoods like Irish moss, fulvic acid, maca root, amaranth oil. These all come from whole plant sources. with no chemical extraction processes. Lots of juicing and green smoothies and vegetables and locally grown rice and fresh fruits. And this ensures that I get plenty of phytonutrients with life force. I do love medicinal mushrooms as well, and these are particularly good for rebuilding and nourishing and supporting the nervous system. But make sure that you get a brand that hasn't been imported, because otherwise it will be irradiated, and this counteracts a lot of its goodness. So, 3 tips to take away. So, number 1 is to really assess your diet. So take a closer look at your diet. Are you getting a variety of nutrients from whole, fresh, local foods, preferably? And if not, what resources can you find to make some really positive changes here? The second tip is to consider consulting with a professional. So speaking with a healthcare provider to really assess your individual needs can actually be really valuable. So tip number 3 is quality, of course. So quality is key. So choosing high quality, whole food supplements, and remember that the so-called reputable brands are not always the best. Often these major well-known brands have sold out to bigger pharmaceutical companies, and the ingredients become compromised and really questionable. So, in my humble opinion, you don't need expensive supplements to heal and to be well. What you do need is hydration with the right water. You need sunshine and time outside, so time in nature, time with your feet in the earth, grounding. You need real food, good sleep, exercise, and love. And, certain well-vetted supplements may be useful in some cases at certain times to support you. So I hope this was helpful. And if you did find it valuable, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're watching on YouTube. And please share it too with anyone who you think might benefit. And let us know in comments down below. Do you take supplements? Which ones do you take and why? I would love to hear your thoughts. All right, beautiful people. Until next time.